Hello everyone and welcome to a game between Sock versus Moon. This game taking place here on Echo Isle. We have Sock spawning as the red human over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile over here on the top left we have Moon spawning as the yellow night elf. If Moon gives up, you can be sure he was without a chance. He always plays the last. Yeah, I think the army size difference would have just been too much. The Raiders were already well, that was the previous game. Don't want to spoil anything, but I agree. It was the beginning of the end, and I believe Moon just saw the writing on the wall. Militia, well, being called over by Sock, running all the way across the other side of the map to do a little bit of scouting. Uh, what else are we going to be doing here? We are looking at a scout farm being placed down right in this position. I think this also makes it difficult to make a tree of life down here. And by preventing the tree of life from being positioned here, it is actually a little bit more difficult to try and clear out that creep camp. However, it is not a tree of, or not tree of life, ancient of war. However, Moon actually building an ancient of war at the very, very south position here in a rather unique spot. Okay, so Ancient of War being built close to the bottom left expansion here on Echo Isle, not your typical location at all. Coming back around, that farm is just going to be continually scouting out that here. Meanwhile, we are looking at an Archmage going up against a Keeper of the Grove. No real big surprises either. We are, well, we should be looking at some footmen being trained up here in just a second. Peasants now trying to make their way back. Wisp making their way down as an archer should be trained up here. And, well, we should have this Ancient of War trying to aggro and absorb the aggro from these Ogre Magi. Surprised that the Ancient of War has actually built that far away, as it will take quite a bit of time to actually make its way over to start tanking any of that damage. Moon is still rocking Keeper of the Grove, as, well, Keeper of the Grove now making its way down across over here. On a map with limited resources, perhaps he thinks that, well, Keeper of the Grove and Alchemist could be perhaps a useful 1-2 combination. Ent's going to join in on the fight here, as, well, limited resources on a map like Echo Isle means that healing is just that much more important. And the Keeper of the Grove's Tranquility, useful both in and out of combat, is one of those abilities that can really shift the game, alongside the Alchemist, who can then go into Transmute, which, well, becomes an uphill battle if you do not have any more resources. Coming back on the other side here, we are looking at the Archmage still wandering around. Militia, are they going to engage here in just a moment? There you are, going after the Kobold Tunneler, trying to make sure that the Purge goes down onto a footman first before that Water Elemental is dropped. That's the last thing you want to see as a human player, seeing the Water Elemental that you just summoned get purged and then taken down before it could really absorb any real damage. Archmage is sitting at level 2, double Water Elementals in position. Lightning Shield, well, finishes off one of those Water Elementals. Renegade Wizard is going to end up getting taken down. No more mana. Footmen are all in position, and there it goes. Ring of Protection +4 dropped, not the item he was looking for, most likely, as the Ents Forest Troll Shadow Priest now clearing off the remainder of this creep camp. Alright, Keeper of the Grove will not get to level 3, but we'll get we'll get at least halfway there as the remainder of these Kobold Tunnelers get finished off. Back down here, Archmage dropping another Water Elemental and just continuing to clear things out. Now it is decision time. Are we going to be going for an expansion, or are we going to be going into text to tier 2? Expansions on this map are a little bit risky, since these gold mines don't really have that much gold. The limited amount of gold on this map normally means if all of the gold is mined out on this map, whoever pays less in taxes, less to upkeep, generally comes out ahead. Echo Isle normally has a lot of 50 over 50 supply fights, and you just try and stay there and try to outlast and outtrade your opponent. With that said, though, are we going to see perhaps are we going to perhaps see a quick jump to 70 supply to just try to win the game outright, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest comes across with an Abolish Magic, and, well, most likely will be able to finish off this Water Elemental and get a little bit more experience. Keeper of the Grove is already at level 3. Archmage tried to deny that little bit of experience, but the Keeper of the Grove still got it. All right. Keeper of the Grove now making its way back across over here. Ent's going to go ahead and finish off this farm. One more hit from each. There it goes before the time life takes him down. We're going to be going into a small engagement here. Keeper of the Grove not going after Entangle on any of those units, knowing that the Abolish magic from the 2 Forest Troll Shadow Priests would be able to handle it. Archmage with that Brilliance Aura, and now also with 7+ armor on that Archmage, will make that Archmage very difficult to finish, as he has 39% damage reduction. Alright, coming back the other side. Ent's now going to continue to back up again. Footman, well, clearing off the remainder of this creep camp should be pretty easy. Keeper of the Grove, is it going to get the last hit off? I don't know who got it, Archmage or Keeper of the Grove. It looks pretty even. Replenishment potion, however, picked up by that Keeper of the Grove. We are going to see an Entangle, and Sock losing 1 Footman in the process. Double Forest Troll Shadow Priest continuing to heal. We are looking at the tech to tier 2 about, well, 80% done, as the Sock's farm here will just get destroyed. Once this farm is destroyed, perhaps then Moon will be hiring up a tavern hero. Doesn't want to quite reveal that little bit of information, but at this stage I wouldn't be surprised to see a Goblin Alchemist. Alright, Tree of Life nearly completed here. Archmage going to finish off the remainder of this creep camp. Tech to tier 2 is about halfway done, as we are looking at Arcane Vault, Arcane Tower, and mining still going down over here on the bottom right. Around 1 hour of cast to 2 to 3 games, depends on length. Yeah, and considering I still have a full-time job as well, in addition to being a father of 3, you can only dedicate about an hour to casting. So thank you for sharing that 1 hour with me. Keeper of the Grove now looking to back away here. In comes the Archmage trying to put in a little bit of pressure. Keeper of the Grove is right there adding in a little bit of extra damage. Are we going to get any Forest Troll Shadow Priest Abolish magics? That is the question to be had. Archmage gets up to level 4. We'll go for level 2 Brilliance Aura, as the units are now backing away again. Keeper of the Grove, where is it going? It is trying to retreat all the way back. Is it going to try to hire up a tavern hero? No, it is not. Am I missing a hero somewhere? No, I am not missing. It is a solo Keeper of the Grove right now. Alright, solo Keeper of the Grove, as all of the archers, Forest Troll, Shadow Priests now making their way back. Alright, still going into all of these engagements once more. We are looking at a tech to tier 2 now completed by, or will be completed here by Sock in just a moment. And with that done, we should be looking at a Mountain King being trained up. Archmage, I'm going to go ahead and continue to just try and creep out more creep camps here. Scroll of Protection added, and in to get in a little bit of extra damage and get a little bit of extra experience. So far, though, do we see the second hero? Yes, we do. We see a Demon Hunter second, so Moon really going for that Demon Hunter number 2, as the Footmen are now looking to engage here with Defend. Archers, Forest Troll Shadow Priest, and Forest Troll Berserkers will not be able to do, well, very much damage to those Footmen, even though they are moving significantly slower. Archers looking to pull back once more. Where are they going to try and travel to next? And what is the Demon Hunter? How will his impact be felt? Mainly there to perhaps shut down that Mountain King and those Storm Bolts, perhaps, as we are going into long-range attacks, and perhaps an eventual transition into Riflemen. Sock sitting at 50 over 54 supply right now, doesn't want to pay taxes if he can avoid it. Footman about to get taken down, may end up accidentally giving experience to the Demon Hunter as the units are getting ready to engage. Archmage, Keeper of the Grove, just exchanging blows right now. 32 to 38 damage compared to, 43 to 39. But the amount of armor on the Archmage, the big difference there, but a large amount of hit points on the Keeper of the Grove, as the Keeper of the Grove has, what was that? Plus 4 strength and the Pure Up of Vitality. A very big difference right there. 250 extra hit points, making that Archmage unable to outlast in that battle. Nope, normal speed. Alright. Archmage looking to back up again. Well, Footman just causing a little bit of harassment off on the other side here. Is that Wisp going to get taken down to 8 hit points? However, well, the Wisp is the only worker unit that has the same normal walking speed as most other units, as that Footman perhaps trying to run around the map and find another way to put pressure somewhere else. All right, what's going to end up happening here? Peasants could end up getting poked apart. as the Demon Hunter and the Keeper, well, the Keeper of the Grove now with an Orb of Venom able to get in a little bit of extra damage. Arcane feedback onto that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter losing a lot of mana pretty quickly as the Scroll of Town Portal coming in. All right, Scroll of Town Portal coming into position. Are we going to see a Stormbolt anywhere? No, just a mana burn onto the Archmage. A Stormbolt from the Demon, or from the Mountain King could have perhaps stopped that and then caused a little bit more damage as well. Am I also playing ladder games? No, I know that I do not have the time and energy to really try and improve and get my play up to snuff any longer. So unfortunately, I am able to cast and enjoy high-level games. I also, carpal tunnel like just hurts a lot as well. So Demon Hunter second versus human. Do you think it's better than the Alchemist? I like both. I like the Demon Hunter. If you know your opponent is going to be going for that Mountain King, you do want to shut down your opponent's heroes. I like Demon Hunter as a second hero as opposed to the primary, because as the primary hero, once the Demon Hunter gets to level 5, all of a sudden you mana burn so much that after a while, the Demon Hunter has mana and no one else has mana to actually burn. So it doesn't become nearly as effective later on, since you're able to shut down your opponent that quickly. Are we going to be looking at the Arcane Tower feeding back the Demon Hunter? Yes, it will. There's a little bit of damage. Archmage, well, dropping in a Water Elemental. Double Mountain Giants in position already as the units, well, Stormbolting onto that Demon Hunter. More repairs onto that Arcane Tower, and it's going to end up getting finished off here. Mountain King trying to fight. There's a mana burn onto the Mountain King as well, as the Mountain King may try to back away. Demon Hunter once again taking a lot more damage as the Archmage going after a little bit of a chase. Double Mountain Giants in the front line position. Are we perhaps going to see a Stormbolt go down onto these Mountain Giants to perhaps try and stop them? I don't see any real taunts. Oh, there was a Staff of Preservation saving a unit, as the Ents are now going to be joining in on the fight as well. Standing next to trees only to see the tree starting to attack you. That does become rather scary, as there are 3 Mountain Giants out onto the battlefield. Mountain Giant or Mountain King is going to try to chase after any of those units. No, it is not, as both sides actually sitting in low upkeep. Staff of Frustration doing its job, well, causing your opponent, well, to work and try to take down a 1600 hit point unit, only to see it get teleported away at the last moment. So far, we are still, we're seeing that Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4. Demon Hunter was, well, Staff of Preservation back home. It also has an Orb of Venom as well. So we could see double Orb of Venom becoming a very big strategy, as we are also looking at, what is this? Purposely buying Claws of Attack +6 from the Goblin or from the Marketplace. All right, the Keeper of the Grove now with +13 attack. That auto attack is actually is going to be quite scary if you don't realize what is happening or going down. All right, Demon Hunter, are they going to try to push their way and pressure in? Main base versus the expansion on both sides. Mortar team should be able to make short work of that Tree of Life. Wisp are going to be making their way over. We see some detonations and some repairs. Is it going to end up be enough, as we see the Mortar teams just getting completely landed on right there? Archmage is going to be enough to take it down. 2 more shots. No. Tree of Life down to 75 hit points and ends up staying alive. The Mortar teams needed 1 more volley if possible to finish off that Tree of Life. Does not get it. A lot of Wisps were lost, and well, a lot of repairs are underway. A bit of a trade not working out nearly as well. Both sides trading Scrolls of Town Portal. 65 supply compared to 78. Moon having the overall supply advantage. Overlay is not working. My apologies. Nothing I can do about that. I even tried to repair it. Still did not work. Mountain King, Clarity Potion, and Brilliance Aura. While being used. Let's take a look at the other side here. Keeper of the Grove, level 4. Demon Hunter sitting at level 2. And all these casters will need to be backing up here. There is not enough frontline units, and this is a major problem. The Mountain Giants are all right there. There goes a major thunderclap right there. As you can see, damage getting added in. There's a, well, no, not a detonation. More damage coming across. But the Water Elemental and the Rifleman actually fighting in a very narrow choke point. And the Mountain Giants, well, you can see one Mountain Giant doesn't even really matter, as it's just trying to get into position. Even with the Ents being brought over to try and clear up some of the trees, it is not being able to do all that much, as the Mountain King throws down another thunderclap to slow down all of these units again. All right, some of these melee units unable to join in on the fight. Somehow, well, was there a Staff of Sanctuary being used right there? It looked like it. No, the Staff of Preservation, perhaps, as the Paladin is out onto the field trying to holy light some of these units. However, the Knights are getting lost in transit. All right, Mountain Giant could end up getting taken down. Is it going to end up falling down to 242 hit points? Staff of Preservation, Staff of Frustration, whatever the name, well, it preserves the units and frustrates your opponent as they are teleported. Well, they should be teleported back off over here. There you go, a 600 hit point, and there was that bear that was teleported back out. Demon Hunter with plus 13 attack, Orb of Venom. Are we going into a third hero? No, we are not. Not for the Night Elf. Meanwhile, Paladin was spotted coming in from Sock. However, things are not looking good for Sock whatsoever. He is majorly down in terms of overall supply as the units are still trying to engage. More Mortar Team Staff of Teleportation going to be coming across. Demon Hunter landing in and going to be able to mana burn down that Mountain King before that Mountain King can do very much of anything. Still trying to fight their way through. Paladin, well, pretty much out of mana as well. Demon Hunter, are we going to see a Thunderclap, a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Stormbolt perhaps onto the Demon Hunter right here. Scroll of Town Portal now being used as the Mortar Team is trying to back away, and it looks like a lot of these units, save for one or two priests, getting taken out at the last second. All right, Staff of Preservation saving those units once more. 63 supply going up against 77. Moon also sitting on a very large bank of gold, having a 800 gold right now, and that's just going to continue to grow as he is mainly only going to be buying items at the most. Hello, Aria. How are you doing?
I try to look at the leaders, and then I will get as distracted.
Okay. Well, continue your morning routine. Okay. Great. All right. Keeper of the Grove. Well, a quick dust of appearance or reveal right there, trying to make sure. Well, was that a... Well, that was, I believe, a dust of appearance, but I don't see any dust. Maybe just trying to make sure that there was no invisible Mountain King keeping track of that unit right there. Hi, Co-Caster. Units going to be getting into position. Mortar teams do in fact have inner fire. That is actually a lot of damage. So if Saw can actually use these mortar teams in a position where they're not getting attacked, but they're able to dish out that damage, that is going to be rather impressive. You can see the mortar teams coming across here. Mana burn onto that Mountain King already, causing problems again. Wisp going to be coming in from the side, and the Dryads and all of the unarmored units pretty much don't stand a chance. Mortar teams trying to get in and out of position once more. And how many mortar teams is that? It looks like upwards of, 5? That's 5 mortar teams right now as the Water Elemental now making its way over here. Demon Hunter is now shutting down the Mountain King pretty effectively. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at level 5 here. Are we going to perhaps see more mortar teams being trained up as we're at 76 supply over 84, finally getting into that high 70 supply range? The problem is that, no Sundering Blades on those Knights means that these Mountain Giants are going to have a much easier time. Are we going to see a Thunderclap? There you go. A massive slow across multiple units. Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter, knowing that, hey, you know what? It's just going to end up being mana burned anyways. As you can see, Staff of Preservation saving before the Scroll of Town Portal takes everyone else back home. All right. How many priests are there? You need to heal up a lot of those units. Only 2 priests to be had. We need to see more priests being trained up. I think that's what we need. Looking back down, where is the... Arcane Sanctum was destroyed, so it needs to be rebuilt. And with only 2 priests, the timing is going to be a little bit awkward, but the priests do have mastery training, so they have increased mana regeneration, as the Demon Hunter could end up becoming in a little bit of trouble. All right, used a Potion of Healing. Are we going to see Dust of Appearance being used? Oh, there's a flare, and all of a sudden the Demon Hunter is in trouble. A Staff of Teleportation, is he going to end up surviving? He's trying to survive here. Mortar Teams finishes it off, and the Purupt of Vitality was actually dropped. It looked like the Demon Hunter wanted to be able to get out of there, perhaps buy a Scroll of Town Portal or do something. It ends up dropping the Purupt of Vitality, and which is now given to the Paladin. I could not have gone any more poorly for Moon. And we can see with those 6 mortar teams, that Demon Hunter pretty much did not stand a chance. All right, killing a Demon Hunter and it drops an item. You don't see that every day as the knights going after all of these units here. Still surprised we are now finally going into animal war training. We should also be getting a sundering blades to help deal with those deal with these forest troll berserkers, but more importantly these mountain giants, as the dryads with those fragmentation shards dealing so much damage. All right, water elemental in that frontline spot. There goes a major thunderclap trying to slow everything down. Wisp coming in from the side. Are we going to see some mass detonations? Priest could run out of mana here in just a moment, and that could be the issue. Mortar teams trying to, well, use those fragmentation shards as effectively as they can to take down unit after unit, as those dryads are now trying to back away. However, in comes the bears from the far side here. Demon Hunter was resurrected at the tavern. Only way you could get back into that fight here. A potion of invulnerability on that Mountain King as he gets up to level 4. We could see another thunderclap, but that Mountain King is really far out of position, but able to still stay alive as the Scroll of Town Portal takes him back home. Moon really doing a great job controlling the spacing on these games, as the trees are opening up all of these choke points. The mortar teams really want to use these choke points and fire from the cover of safety. Mortar teams have very long ranges, as we all know, and that long range allows them, if they are able to, just attack from very far behind. However, with the trees being able to just turn into part of the Night Elf army, those mortar teams have to be quite a bit careful. Paladin now in a little bit of trouble, sitting at level 2. We see, I believe, another thunderclap now go down. No Staff of Sanctuary, and this has been a constant problem by Sok. Sok has not invested in a Staff of Sanctuary, and because of that has been losing very expensive knights. That is going to be a continued problem right there, as the Archmage is continuing to try and retreat back. We see a Scroll of Healing used right there to try and save up more units again. Paladin turning things back around. Are we going to see a Stormbolt go down anywhere? No Stormbolt, not enough mana, and, well, not wanting to give chase to all of those units. Druids of the Claw back into Druid form. They will be casting Rejuvenation here in just a moment. Moon able to save up a lot of his units right here. 78 over 90 supply compared to 78 over 90. Both sides even in terms of overall supply. However, Moon does have a slight advantage on gold. This is still a very close game. The Paladin, once it gets to level 3, could make a very big difference. Still don't see a Staff of Sanctuary anywhere. Keeper of the Grove just shy from level 6, only needs 48 experience. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter, sitting at level 4, anti-magic potion will allow him to shake off some of that damage and perhaps dive on into from his opponent. All right. Knights now getting ready in for that engagement. Mountain King doesn't want to get too close to those wisps. We're going to be looking at a big fight here in just a couple of moments. And, well, how is everything going to go down here? Mortar team's going to just be lobbing in some of that damage. And we can see, well, mana burn onto that Paladin, shutting that down. In comes some detonation. Mortar teams are just trying to fire from the back. And are they able to do that? You can see the Dryads getting just splatted down so quickly. There you go. And a retrain to Blizzard. All right. Talking about trying to just maximize up on straight damage. There goes another a couple more units, and all of a sudden Moon's back line is getting destroyed, but it may not matter if, well, everything is also getting destroyed from Sok. You can take a look, 76 supply there compared to 72. Sok did actually take an advantage in that battle, and now Moon needs to consider his options. Do I go for Dryads? Dryads, obviously strong against the Blizzard, but weak to the Mortar teams. Or do I go for Mountain Giants or anything else? Bears, all of those melee units just simply are not working out. They're cluttering up the field. All right, this is making things a little bit difficult. Sok's army composition, very strong. You can see he is keeping these mortar teams alive, and that's really the difference here. Mortar teams are generally, well, focused down very quickly. And once again, I gotta say that Sok not going for Staffs of Sanctuary, even using them out of battle to regenerate some of those hit points, that would be extremely useful too. Paladin now making its way back, trying to get closer to the Archmage. We're going to see Ancient of War in that that frontline position. Militia now being called over from the main base as the main gold mines have already been mined out. All right, this Ancient of War going to get taken down. And is this game actually going to go in favor of Sock? Moon unable to do his classic crazy expansions all across the map since this is Echo Isle as the battle now raging on in. All right, in comes the Wisp. Wisp will be detonating left and right. We're going to see another knight getting taken down here most likely as it, well, there it goes. Keeper of the Grove now gets up to level 6. Should be able to use Tranquility really effectively as well. Mountain King needs to get all of his mana burned first though, as that's what exactly the Demon Hunter is hoping to do. There you go, no more mana for a Stormbolt, and the Keeper of the Grove says, you know what, I can just constantly heal. There goes another knight who could have been saved with the Staff of Sanctuary, and well, Sock may, if he does study this replay, will know exactly what happened here. All right, Peasant's going to get taken down. We are looking at 74 over 80 supply. Demon Hunter, is it going to be able to level up? No, it is not. Just shy from level 5 by about, what, 37 experience. 61 over 90 compared to 74 over 80. Moon retaking the lead and also having that Keeper of the Grove at level 6. Mortar Team's going to try and engage right here, but this narrow fighting location could expand up very quickly. A couple of Ents is all that is needed as the Mortar Teams are just shell-shocking all of those Dryads right in that back line right there. Mountain King out of mana once more. However, the Bears are being able to find their target. Archmage does have a Scroll of Town Portal again, as we may see a Mortar Team finally getting taken down. And there goes one Mortar Team. The Demon Hunter finally finding its targets quite a bit. Scroll of Town Portal trying to be used. It looks like a low hit point Priest is going to be able to shake all of that. There goes another Mortar Team. And now we go from 5 down to 3. All right. Dropping the Mortar Team down from 5 to 3, gonna make a big or 6 to 4, excuse me. Knights finally have Sundering Blades, and we are looking at perhaps trying to buy another Scroll of Town Portal here. Sock has been trading pretty efficiently, but it looks like well, Moon has figured out a way to deal with his opponent's strategy. We are looking at Clarity Potions being used up by Moon once more. We should be looking at more Tranquility being used in here. 3/3 upgrades on those units. Meanwhile, the Mortar Teams have 1/0 upgrades. The Knights only have 1/1 upgrades. So, well, Moon is winning on ahead on multiple fronts. Are we going to be looking at more, well, Spellbreakers getting added in? Interesting choice as the gold mines have been mined out. About a minute of mining left here, and this may come down to who is more efficient. Mountain King is currently invisible. Could be able to get off a big thunderclap here in just a moment. Demon Hunter is in position as well. Level 5 Demon Hunter with level 3 mana burn could cause major problems. Mountain King now with plus 14 armor, 51% damage reduction. Very difficult to finish off this here as the Ents or the Trents are now making their way off to the north. Nobody wants to push. Everyone wants to fight with home field advantage as the Keeper of the Grove going to use this opportunity to clear out the Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp. All right. Who has the stronger army? 69 over 90 against Moon, who has to have, yeah, exactly 80 over 90. He's still mining a little bit of gold and should be in a great spot. Gargantuan Sea Turtle will end up getting taken down. Well, there it goes. What item was dropped? It looks like Pendant of Energy. That is of the Grove, and this is the situations where the situation that you don't want to be up against Moon or any Night Elf player. You are out of resources, and your opponent has a Keeper of the Grove with plenty of mana. And is at level 6. Tranquility is going to be, well, the ultimate ability here, constantly just topping off the hit points on all of these units. The Dryads, perhaps the weakest unit in the bunch, as they are going to be very vulnerable to the Mortar Teams. But the Mortar Teams, as we all know, do attack very slowly. Mountain King is currently invisible. We'll see what's going to be happening here. Peasants now trying to make their way down as well. Gold mines are now all mined out. Are we going to see a Tree of Life join in on the fight? Yes, we are. All right, a Tree of Life joining in on the fight, and all of a sudden, even the buildings are trying to win the battle for Moon. All right, mortar teams. That is the very big difference right here. Mortar teams being able to, well, destroy a lot or deal damage to these buildings very quickly. Mountain giants do also have siege damage as well. How quickly can they attack, and how fast can they destroy buildings into a potential base race? Mortar team's going to go ahead and destroy here. The big difference is, though, that there is a tree of life on the move from Moon. Moon is bringing his own building with him in the battle, and because of that, well, even if you destroy all the building inside Moon's base, well, it's not going to be enough. Mortar team's trying to finish off all of these remaining buildings here. Well, Mortar team's going to be able to finish off the Hunter's Hall, and this is turning into a massive base race here. Arcane Tower trying to finish off some of these Ents here, and what is going to end up going down? Sorceress's Priest. There is Peasants off to the side. How much gold is available? 18 gold, not enough. Unless you sell some precious items, there is no items to be sold. And where is that Paladin? Paladin is down here. Paladin has some items to be sold. He has all of the longevity items, as he is the one that should be able to heal up all of the remaining units. 79 supply over 50 compared to 69 over 36. All right, base race scenario. But does Sock realize that there is a tree of life on the move here? Paladin quickly sells some of his gold, and now we do have a little bit of gold available to try and build some buildings. 200 gold, and that is all Sock has left. He's going to be building up farms every which way. Maybe even scout towers could be better, as you're able to build more of them since they are cheaper and you have plenty of lumber to use. All right, there goes some more moon wells, and this is the last moon well here, but it is definitely not the last building. 79 over 10 supply. This is the last tree of life that I know of, last building that I know of here, and well, it is 99 gold. Demon Hunter has plenty of items. He'll be able to sell any of his items to try and build any new additional buildings, as well as Sock is going to end up losing his last farm in this neck of the woods. Priest. There's an Ancient of Wonders right here hiding behind these trees. Does the priest spot it? I do believe so. Those are the two last buildings. And, well, where is this tree of life? This tree of life is going to hide himself in a forest, and that is going to be very difficult to spot. What is also going to be difficult to spot is an entire invisible army looking for all of these units. All right, an entire caster army being brought over to go after all of these Ancient of Wonders, and that's a brilliant, brilliant tactic, as the Ancient of Wonders cannot root itself. All right, are the sorceresses going to be able to cast invisibility onto all of these units and try and save themselves here, as the Wisp may try and do some blind detonations? All right, coming back across this tree of life, just hiding in one crazy, crazy spot, and so all of those are taken down. There is a new building right here, but it looks like it will get taken down as well, and this might be the last of it, down to 300 hit points. All of that is going to get taken out as Sock gives the GG, losing that base race. Sock had no buildings left, and that's ultimately what you need to stay in the game. Moon moving that tree of life. Perhaps he thought he was going to move the Tree of Life as more of an additional attacking unit, and then it ended up being the last building that he needed in order to stay alive. Great game, great outcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys